the ground. Like, I want all of my cards to be as efficient as possible and do everything I want in a specific set way. Like, I think the set is a little less enticing for you.
Yeah. And just judging by what I've seen on Twitter, and I know I've kind of been not as vocal on Twitter. This whole, having to stay inside every single day and not really leave is affecting me. But I have been paying attention on Twitter, and it seems like it's an. I want to like this set, and I was super excited for this set. I was really excited for this set before we started seeing the cards from this set. I didn't know what Mutate was going to be, obviously. I thought it was going to be something like kind of what Gisela was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. It's this really weird, it breaks the game, like all of the rules.
I mean, not only, like, that's what this whole set does.
What the hell is a Mutate? They had to come out the day after, or the first day of week 2 in spoilers, and they literally wrote an article today explaining what the hell Mutate does and how it doesn't interact and how they don't actually enter the battlefield and like all this nonsense. I will try and find that. I'm sure it'll be easy to find that and link that in the description.
I got you.
But
I will pull that up and link it in the chat for our
yeah,
live
there
viewers.
You go. Hey, so yeah, so it's just really weird to me that they're already kind of, Mark Rosewater. Whether you love him or hate him, I personally love how excited he gets about the game. I appreciate that about him, but he was very, I don't want to say misleading, but he was excited about it. Obviously, that's his job, but it's just not what I expected, and Mutate is not it for me.
I like I said, it's a fun mechanic. It is not. Like, it's a mechanic that in use in competitive play for what it will see,
Yeah,
it feels like it's just going to create more confusion.
yeah.
It feels like you're opening the door to a lot of
rules lawyering,
potentially
right?
he said, she said situations, sure. And I said this card was on top, but I actually put this other one on top. Like,
yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
I don't know. Like,
I
see strange. What they were trying to do, and like, I appreciate trying to keep Magic new and different, and sometimes you see really good mechanics that come out of that. Like, flip cards, in my mind, are one that were a great success. They were implemented well, and they made cards that not only were good at the time, but have been retroactively continued to be good. Things like Search for Azcanta and Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Yeah, definitely.
But it seems like the last couple of tries, like, Adventure wasn't egregious by any means, but I don't think it felt the same as some of, like, it didn't feel as impactful, at least to me personally.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so we have Mutate. That's the new kind of hotness. That's the gimmick of this set. Obviously, Cycling is back. Is Cycling evergreen? Cycling's not evergreen, right?
No. It's a mechanic of the set.
Yeah, it is a mechanic of the set. And then what are the other mechanics in this set? I feel like there's a lot going on.
There's a new mechanic called Companion.
Companion, yeah. So Savior in chat says, biggest concern about companion mechanic, that's a tongue twister, we are able to call a judge to deck check our opponent. So yeah, that's a fair point.
I don't believe, like, are we able to call a judge to deck check? I mean, at any point, if you question what your opponent is doing, you're always welcome to call a judge.
Right. So for those that don't know, Companion is basically, and I'll get to something here about Commander here in a little bit because I kind of went off on Twitter. That was my one tweet like last week. But so Companion, if you don't know, is an ability or a new Ikoria mechanic that says if this card is in your deck, your deck has to meet these set of restrictions.
No. If this card is your companion, not if it's in your deck. Those are two.
Oh, see, that's so confusing.
Yeah. So sorry.
So I don't even know.
So if you choose to make a card your companion, it doesn't start in your deck. It starts in your sideboard. And at any given point in the game, you're allowed to cast it once per game from the sideboard. Now, it still has to follow all of its normal casting
timing
rules.
Restrictions and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But you get some certain ability for using its companion.
So it's kind of like the Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even know because I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! But I know there's like a third deck where you can cast. I don't know, but that's weird. It's Commander-esque. So Luris,
kind of.
the Dream
It's
Den,
creating a new zone, but it does take up a sideboard card slot.
That's weird. Okay, I'm learning things. That if that doesn't tell you how, and we haven't even got to the strangest thing about this set yet. Companion's weird. Mutate doesn't work and is broken. And Godzilla is in the set apparently.
Sure
and
is.
Because it's 2020 and everything is up and up is down and down is up. And we're all stuck inside our homes. So the card that I want to talk about first, it actually just got spoiled today, I believe. Luris the Dream Den. One for and hybrid is now a thing in Commander. One white black, so 3 CMC legendary creature, Cat Nightmare, rare 3/2. So it has companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has to be converted mana cost 2 or less. So obviously, like mono black aggro, mono white weenie might want something like this. It has lifelink, and during each of your turns, this card's pretty good. You may cast one permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard, and if this is your companion, literally all of your creatures, everything is going to be 2 or less. So I think that card's pretty sweet. I don't want to jump in. I just wanted to use that as an example of companion, but yeah. Godzilla's in this set, and I don't really understand why. Do we know why? Are they trying to promote a movie or something?
No.
Or like, what's going on with that?
I haven't really heard what they've said other than...
Do they own the IP? Or...
It's got to be. It's a collaboration.
Because I thought that Godzilla was owned by multiple companies. I'm pretty sure... Godzilla is owned by like multiple companies.
The company that owns it is called UPA.
Okay, they're
contracted with.
That is not Hasbro. I know that much.
Let's see, UPA Hasbro. I have to look now.
No, yeah, this is obviously the Control Freak podcast is usually a little bit not scripted, but a little bit more structure to it, but. It's just, this set is so dang weird to me. There is one card I will tell you right now that I really like for Pioneer Blue-White Control. Neutralize. We can talk about it here. Neutralize is an uncommon for 1 colorless blue-blue. It is an instant, and it says counter target spell, period. And then it has cycling for 2, and that card's great. That card's excellent.
I mean, I don't see anything about UPA and Hasbro. That's disappointing.
Okay, here we go. Toho reached out to Hasbro to try and make this happen. Is Toho the owner, or like the rights owner?
So UPA does all of their marketing business through Toho, I believe was what I just saw.
I gotcha. Okay. So, that's interesting. It still doesn't make sense. To me.
They're contracted with Toho to distribute its monster movies of the time. Gotcha. So Toho was the original Japanese owner and creator.
Makes sense.
And now UPA co-owns it or is contracted with them.
Gotcha. So on the topic of Godzilla, and there's a called Death's Corona in this set.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I know there's no way that they would have known or could have known that this was going to happen.
Part of me really hopes that they changed it at the last minute.
No, they said, so what's going to happen with that card? We'll get to that here in a second. Hold on.
Right.
There's so much going on. This set.
Also, for the record,
go for it.
Coronavirus is not funny. I just think that's a terribly horrible coincidence.
No, absolutely. I've been talking, the last 2 or 3 episodes, I've been talking about everybody needs to stay in and wash their hands. I'm not going to get on a soapbox this episode, but just wash your hands. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is not actually its name because it's not.
What?
Yeah, it's called Zilrotha Strength Incarnate. Right. So this thing is basically there's going to be 2 versions of these cards. All right, there's going to be the cool promo Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then there's the one that'll actually be in packs. As the way I understand it, at least, which will be Zilrotha Strength Incarnate. So for 3 red-green legendary creature dinosaur, it has trample. It is a 7/3. Lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than toughness.
I'm super underwhelmed with this card.
Yeah.
For it being
Godzilla? I'm thinking Godzilla's going to be like a 20/20, which, by the way, there is a giant growth effect that gives plus 20/20, which is insane. I
guess what makes me upset is, if you look at the other promos, of all the big monsters in this set,
this one's the least scary.
It's not the biggest. Why would you name a card King of Monsters that isn't the biggest?
Yeah,
Sorry,
and the fact that...
I'm nitpicking.
No.
It just bothers
me. I agree. And it might be because we've known each other for 20 years, but I agree. And the art on this, just so seeing, if you're watching the live stream, if you're watching on YouTube, this card has helicopters in it on a Magic the Gathering card. It's just weird. I'm not saying that I hate it and, Wizards of the Coast is ruining Magic and, but it's
especially
just
because this is, alternate. It's not...
Yeah, it's not going to be in the sets.
Right, you're not getting a card in your pack called Godzilla.
Yeah, we have so many freaking Godzillas spoiled. There's 4 spoiled thus far.
Oh, no, there's...
Actually name Godzilla. There's Bio Quartz, Space There's Godzilla Primeval Champion, Godzilla Doom Inevitable.
There's 5.
Space Godzilla Death Corona, which again had its name changed. Void. Oh, that's not it. What the heck? I clicked on it and it went away. Okay, so they're just... Oh, that's the actual card. Okay, that's confusing. So yeah, they're just all so weird, and I don't know. I get it from a promotional standpoint. The baby frog Godzilla is adorable, and I love that. Yeah. And I want more of that and less of this nonsense, whatever that is. That looks like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Green Rangers Zoid is what that looks like to me. It's just so strange, and then they give us that art, so we can't blow that up. We can't make that bigger. But what in the world? Look at all this. These are lasers and cannons and explosions happening. It's just super strange to me. I don't know. I'm sorry. This entire episode is just going to be being... I have no idea about this. It's just... I don't know, man. I don't know.
So, okay. Let's... Outside of Godzilla, let's talk about more of what this set is and what so here's the complaint I've seen the most about this set is outside of 2 or 3 cards, there's very little excitement in Eternal play.
New turn 4 combo with Mothra and Pioneer.
What's the combo?
I don't know. That's what Savior just put that in chat. Savior, what's the combo? So another thing, though, to talk about There's an otter. We have a bunch of otters in this set for some reason, which I'm a fan of otters. I like otters. They're cute as hell.
A bunch of weird creatures.
Yeah, it's like they mutated and combined. But Lurty, don't know if I'm Lurtrai. I don't know. The Spell Chaser is insane in Commander and built for Commander. All right, let me read it real quick. One colorless for red-blue hybrid, so 3. Legendary creature, Elemental Otter, and it is a rare, and it is a 3/2. It has Companion. Each non-land card in your starting deck has to have a different name, i.e. Commander, because I don't think you're ever using this in a constructed format as a companion.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. So it has Flash. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. In Commander, you are a little bit more knowledgeable about Commander. What cards could this combo with?
Oh, God. There's a lot.
Kind of throwing
the first thing that pops out at mine is like take turn effects or take extra attack effects. There's infinite.
I'm sure there's a gang. I'm sure there's infinite combos with this thing too.
Oh, absolutely. This thing's insane.
Yeah, too bad you can't play it in Commander because it's banned. They banned this card in Command. Probably the most exciting, and I get it. There's a lot of different.
Wait, this got banned in Commander already?
This is already banned by the Rules Committee, which I put out on Twitter a tweet, just a simple tweet. Actually, I'm gonna bring up the tweet. I'm gonna bring it up over here. Hey, that's a picture of a baseball guy. So let's see the tweet. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down here. So I said, leave it to Wizards to make a card specifically for Commander, then ban it the day it's previewed. I understand that they are not in control of the BNR in Commander. I get that. But that's also another problem, right? Like, that is something they need to address. I had a couple of people respond to me and say, hey, they're not responsible for the BNR in Commander. I get that. I understand that. But the fact that they are in control of what cards they make, it's just ridiculous to me. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on it getting banned off the rip? It is banned. You don't have to fact check me. It is for sure banned.
No, Jay Forio just said, well, Wizards is in control of the BNR and Brawl, and they banned it there too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Wizards has, like, I don't know if it's a testing thing, because they've done this before, like, all the way back to, what, Skullclamp?
Yeah, Skullclamp got pre-banned before it was released.
So, like,
mistakes happen. I understand that. Oko happens. And I
would rather see them ban it now than us have 3 months of another Oko.
Well, it's banned in Commander, not in...
I know.
This card's not very good. I don't think this card's very good in
I don't think
constructed.
Any of the companion cards... there's maybe one or two that are playable in constructed, in standard constructed.
Yeah.
I would be incredibly surprised to see any of them outside of standard.
Yeah. But it's just, like, if that's your defense, if that's your argument, right, that, they're not in control of the BNR, be in control of the BNR. Like, it's your thing. It's your sandbox. They could come out with another BNR completely separate from whatever, I forget the dude's name, who has been doing it for this whole time. But they could totally just make their own BNR.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't play Commander, so.
Can I switch gears and talk about a thing that is good in this set?
It's the first card that's been banned the day of preview. That's funny. The awkward thing. So I'm reading comments from chat. The awkward thing
Yeah.
is that wishboards still don't work in EDH and Brawl, but Companion does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they need to fix
that's
that,
insane.
J4EO.
So that's another thing. They could, if they wanted to make cards, and I think that would be sweet for Commander, that they could do that. But they don't. Why? I don't know. Wizards, if you're watching, if anybody from Wizards is watching, let me know why you just don't take command of your most popular format.
You think that's the most popular right now?
Most popular.
I would say it's the most played.
Sure. I mean, semantics at that point. But yeah, I mean, come on. It's your thing. Don't let a third party make your rules or, make your BNR. Okay, you were saying positives about this set. Please, we need one.
So there's a couple of things. First, let's human players that are out there should be super excited about this set. They're continuing to funnel human pieces.
Yeah, where's the one?
Dire Tactics, it's black-white.
This guy right here?
No, keep going down. It's an uncommon. The new path, it's right there.
Oh, yeah, it's a white card,
nope,
right?
You're still going. Nope. Go back down. It's a gold card. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to the creature's toughness.
So this card's insane. Like it's a new path without giving a land.
Yeah, it is also 2 mana.
It is, and it's 2 colored mana.
And yeah.
I think this card is insane. I think it's going to see play in multiple formats.
I think this could see play in Pioneer.
Absolutely.
We've been seeing Esper control shells kind of pop up. Personally, I still believe the mana is not good enough, especially being too
in
Pioneer. For Esper control, I'm talking about, specifically talking about Dire Tactics. Not having blue in its cost, obviously this isn't a blue ability, so like why would it have blue? But like the fact that it doesn't have blue in its cost is definitely hurting this card, because you're going to be playing, majority of your lands are going to be blue. Right. Unless I guess I could see a scenario where maybe you're splashing blue to fairy and stuff, but that doesn't sound right.
That sounds like you're losing out on counter spells and dig through time.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound good.
I need that. Is Modern Humans even capable of casting a white-black spell that isn't a human creature? Not in its current iteration, I don't think.
Yeah, it definitely. I thought the card you were going to be talking about was General Kudro of Danareth.
Oh no, we were getting there.
This card, a mythic. Okay, if you want to read this one off, Evan.
Yeah, so this is a mythic. It's a 1 colorless white, or 1 generic white-black. For a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier, other humans you control get +1/+1. And when General Kudro or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target creature or target card from an opponent's graveyard.
Yeah.
So first we have Lord and our graveyard removal, and then it's a sack outlet too. You can pay 2 generic and sack, but specifically sack 2 humans.
2 humans, yep.
To destroy a creature with power 4 or greater. So like this card does a lot of things.
Oh yeah. Sweet Goyf, sack my 2 guys, Bashan. Like, this card looks really good. This card looks really good for Modern Humans. I mean, I know Modern Humans hasn't been performing all that well in this meta. I mean, basically since, what? The banning of Hogak, really? It just hasn't seen play?
Yeah, I mean, it's because it has a hard Urza matchup.
Yeah, Urza is very good. Just makes a bunch of guys and... what's up, Kyle? How's it going? But yeah, I don't know. That card's very good, though. That card is very, very good. I think it'll see some play.
I think the card, if you go 2 to the right of that, I don't know. Oh,
Fiend
I think this
Artisan?
is, yeah, this is the card that in my mind is busted.
Yeah, so read it off if you like. Or
Yeah,
I
so
can, either way.
hybrid mana is back, like we were saying earlier. So it's 2 green-black hybrid for a 1/1. Gets +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard. Man, I've never heard of a deck that puts creatures in a graveyard. And then you can pay X and a hybrid green-black, tap it, sack another creature, and you get to search your library for a creature with CMC X or less, and put it onto the battlefield. Couple important things: you can only activate it as a sorcery, but I think it's huge that we go directly to the battlefield.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If this was to the hand or some nonsense, or to the graveyard, or, I don't think it would definitely not be as good. Yeah, no, this card looks very good. It is a mythic, too, so, I mean, usually, History Benalia and Brazen Borrower were two kind of like on their surface underwhelming cards, right? Nobody thought they were going to do anything. And they were just excellent, especially in Standard. Seems very Goyf-like, and then it also has some weird kind of like Fauna Shaman, Birthing Pod-esque feel to it.
This feels like Pioneer's Goyf to me.
Yeah. Oh, and
on the surface level. Obviously, we'll have to see if it can really be that good.
Green Suns, yeah, that's true, Jo. And Jo says it's gonna make Historic Maverick a thing potentially. So
I could see that. I mean,
that'll be cool. No,
there's already
I like
a lot
that
of
style
pieces
deck.
for Maverick.
So very cool. Are there any other cards that you want to talk about here? There's the 1 mana. Where's the 1 mana? This one right here. It's in one bite. I don't know if that's the official name because this is in Spanish, I believe. But in one bite, so it is a white for a sorcery, which is very important. In additional costs to cast a spell, tap an untapped creature you control. Exile target tapped creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on the creature tapped to cast this spell. Another similar kind of path, obviously sorcery, and you have to have a creature. So I don't think this is going to make the cut in any kind of blue-white control shell, but maybe in a blue-white flash or blue, maybe Spirits. I don't think Spirits wants this.
I don't know.
But
what do you think about something like this in a deck with Elspeth?
You would have to really have at least 3 Elspeths.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're talking a 4-drop Elspeth. Because
Correct.
The fact that you can't cast it, you literally, this is worse than a land in your hand if you don't have a creature, really makes it a hard sell to me. I don't think this is gonna make it. I mean, in a creature deck, absolutely, I could see it. If you're playing like 30 creatures and then like this is your like spell, right? Then sure.
Yeah.
But no. I don't think.
You know what this reminds me of is Dispatch.
Yeah. Okay.
Where like in the right deck, it's phenomenal, but it has to fit in the right shell.
Dispatch was a Metalcraft card from, I think, Scars, or that block rather, and it was 1 mana instant, tap a creature, and then if you had Metalcraft, it exiled the creature. So pretty nuts, obviously in the right build. I agree with that assessment. I think this card in the right deck, like a white weenie deck, maybe like a Boros aggro deck.
Jay Forio just said maybe it could go in mono white Devotion and Pioneer.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think that's a great assessment. Like I think that would be a good home for it. It's at least on the surface.
Yeah. Again, that deck is very good. Obviously, it's been putting up results for months, so I don't. It would take a very good card to cut, to make the cut in that deck. But
yeah,
maybe this is it. And I mean, it's just going to take people trying, and I'm sure, Magic players love to play with new toys, so it'll definitely, at least at first, see some play.
I'm really interested. The card Sanctuary Lockdown.
Okay,
I
so
really want to know. So it's a human enchantment lord.
which is
Uh,
weird, but yeah.
right. But and its second ability is to pay 2 and tap 2 untapped humans to tap a target creature. And I'm curious if that's going to be good enough to make it in shells, because I don't know. 2 mana and 2 creatures seems like a fairly steep cost.
Yeah.
But it's also, and it reminds me a lot of Opposition, which I understand it's nowhere near as good as Opposition, but it gives me shades of that, so it
Sure.
instantly makes me curious if it'll be good or not.
So
I agree with
Danrith
that card.
Magistrate,
Yeah,
one
that
and a
card's
white
insane.
for a creature human wizard rare. It's a 1/3, so a big butt. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. I kind of read that with weird, weird
How do,
timing. From
so how do
anywhere.
you feel about this card? Because I have strong opinions.
I think it's pretty good. It does. It kind of works very. I saw a tweet. I forget who it was. Oh my god. I'm sorry if they listen to this, but it has a hard lock, not a hard lock. I guess a hard lock. Yeah. With oh my gosh, possibility storm. It locks your
Yeah,
opponents out from casting creatures, which is interesting. But that's very Fires of Invention, obviously. This is going to be great in Standard, I think. That's like a slam dunk.
yeah.
It works very good against... And
I mean, it also shuts off Adventure and oh, what's the one that Uro has?
yeah.
What is that ability
Graveyard.
called?
Escape.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shuts off Escape and Adventure as well.
Yeah, it's definitely... Yeah, I agree, Kyle. It's a sideboard card for sure. But it's a good sideboard card. It is what... I mean, and somebody pointed out on Twitter that it kind of looks like Teo doing like the shield magic.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. If that's
but older.
yeah. So maybe this is obviously it's not Teo because it would be a legendary creature at the very least, but maybe this is like from his plane or who knows.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, like kind of lore stuff. I'm always also before we get to, I just saw something that reminded me. They made Sharknado into a Magic card. What
Sure
kind
did.
of meme hell has Magic the Gathering gotten itself into?
I'm sorry, I have to correct you. It's Shark Typhoon.
Yeah, copyrights exist, Evan. Shark Typhoon for 5 in blue. So, I mean, maybe this could be a control finisher. It is an enchantment.
I think this card is sweet.
No, it's very sweet. I heard
you just
it was...
get to make shark surprise sharks get you.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. That's awesome. Where X is that spell's converted mana cost. And then you can cycle it. So Decree of Justice called. They want their card back. X, 1 blue. And when you cycle it, you create X. You create 1 XX blue shark with flying. Holy smokes, this card is sweet. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't care if it's going to be good. I'm just glad that it exists.
That is a really good point, Witness. This is a way to get around to Fairy.
Yeah.
Because you can cycle.
Yeah.
I like this card.
It's sweet. I dig it. What's up, Witness? How's it going, dude? Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, I mean, I thought I saw somebody.
Plus, come on. Who doesn't? I want flying shark tokens. I need to see the flying shark tokens.
Yeah, they better look sweet. I'm sure they will. They have little wings. It's weird that they have...
If not, I'm getting them commissioned.
It's weird that they have angel wings. And look at this big beefy boy. He's a shark beast, and he's got I don't know what, lion legs basically, lion claws.
There's a lot of that in this set.
So let's talk about the Planeswalkers next because we have We have the Tiger King. Luka Doncic made it onto a Magic card. Shout out Luka.
There's so many people going, who?
Yeah. That was
You
a,
are mixing your crowds.
we have one person. I know there's at least one person in chat who gets that. Shout out Savior. So Luka Doncic, Copper Coat Outcast, aka Tiger King, aka Big Beefy Boy, aka Salt and Pepper. Look at his. Oh my gosh, love it. He looks like George Clooney.
Regardless of the card, the art looks sweet.
Yeah, no, the art is amazing. It's got a big old tiger.
I really want to know, like, I was hoping, and I'm kind of sad they didn't do it, that wasn't the World Championship card this year.
Who would it have been? Or who won Worlds?
Wasn't it the same person? Who's on Fervent Champion?
No, it's not Javier.
I thought he won back-to-back. Or were those the two before that?
I love the alt art. Look at this. The alternate art of it.
PV.
Yeah, it's Paulo. So that is definitely not Paulo.
Oh, that's right. It was with Control, too.
Yeah.
I should remember that. Thank you, Witness.
3 RR, so 5 mana. Already not off to a great start here for the Tiger King. With 5 starting loyalty. No, Canister did not win, Savior. It was PV. Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. So +1. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast them from exile as long as you control a Luka Planeswalker. So that's interesting. It's decent. Goes to 6. 5 mana, though. Anyway, let's move on. -2, exile target creature you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. Holy smokes. That's polymorph, boys and girls.
So
you can make a token, keep one creature, build a deck with one creature, maybe Emrakul, maybe a big boy. I mean, there's a lot of big boys in this set. Pretty sweet.
That's what I've seen people brewing Pioneer shells that are control decks that are creatureless except for 2 Emrakuls.
That's awesome.
And then you play the Dwarven Mine. The land that if you control 3 or more mountains, you get a 1/1 dwarf.
Yeah.
And they use that as their.
Yeah, and I mean you could do it with Mutavault. There's definitely ways to do this and combo out. So I like that middle ability. And then -7, each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Sorry, it was misspelled on the thing. So, I mean, that's cool, right? That's just straight up.
I mean, that'll
kill you.
Win a game.
Yeah, that's definitely. It is an ultimate. It will win, and the fact that it uptick ultimate. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think? I think we're using this middle ability to try and sneak a fatty onto the table.
Yeah, this goes along with the theme we've been talking about for this whole set of it's fun if you're doing big creature-y, EDH-y things.
Yeah.
But this doesn't feel like it's ultra impactful. And I could be wrong.
It's
certainly
sweet,
have been
and
before.
I could see a deck that wants to play a bunch of 2 and 3 drops, right? And then just 8 drops or something. But then your chances of breaking are pretty high. So I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. Yeah. Now the sweet one, also a 5 mana card. But this one, I think it's got a passive ability, and as we've learned from the past, passive abilities on Planeswalkers are generally mistakes.
We'll see. I think there's a lot of bad blood towards passive abilities right now. 5
mana, though, is safe as it gets, right? I mean...
Yeah, I agree.
So this is 3 GG for Vivian Monsters Advocate. Starts with only 3 loyalty, so not a whole lot. But you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So that's pretty insane. off the rip. Her passive is very good, I think. Gilded Goose. Yeah. So Gilded Goose will definitely put this into play on turn 4 a lot. So let's go to her actual abilities. +1, create a 3/3 beast creature token. Put your choice of a vigilance counter, a reach counter, or a trample counter on it. That's something we didn't even talk about yet, was the counters.
Oh yeah, we're to my least favorite part of the set.
Yeah, counters that aren't +1, +1, -1, -1, or infect. And then, so that's pretty crazy. Making a 3/3 to protect itself and going up to do so is like pretty sweet, pretty good. And
Protects
then
itself well.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that you can cast stuff like, so -2. So it only has 2 actual abilities, but it does have the passive. -2, when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost. Put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Interesting that it doesn't say equal to or less than.
Yeah, welcome to the terrible wording of this set.
Yeah, I'm sure that's on purpose, right? They want you to go down. That makes sense. It's interesting. Actually, rereading this card, I think it having 5 loyalty would be actually insane. 3 seems correct.
Witness, I agree wholeheartedly. They say arena set, arena set, arena set, arena set.
Oh, Companion alone tells me this set was designed with digital in mind. Like there's not
solely digital. Yeah,
there's not a shadow of a doubt. What's up, Deadeye Devin? How's it going, man? Didn't Oko tick up to protect themselves? Yes, it did. I don't know, man. This set is just one. Okay, so counters, right? Tokens, counters. Evan, you want to explain this mechanic? This godforsaken mechanic?
Everybody is fairly familiar with +1, +1, -1, -1 counters.
Yep.
Witness, no, we haven't. We haven't shown the Moth Monster yet.
It's right there.
Another mechanic of this set is we now have counters that give reach or that give trample, and it gives that creature the ability permanently.
Yep.
And I think this is going to create more confusion and hurt feelings than it will a fun time for the game.
Yeah, and they're gonna have, so similar to Amonkhet block where they had Embalm, they're gonna have counters, token style counters inside of packs.
They're pop out ones, so
you pop them out.
You'll show up and you'll have this little piece of cardboard and you'll say, "Hey, this has trample now," and then someone will sneeze and your trample will go away and you'll never remember it.
Oof. Or you do halfway through the game, and that's where the hurt feelings will come in. Or you'll realize afterwards, after you've lost, because you couldn't deal that last 2 points of damage, and then in round 3, when you face your opponent, and that happened in round 1, that's where the bad feeling. I agree. So are we talking about this Moth?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the big Moth. Mothra Supersonic. It goes away.
It's Luminous Brood Moth.
No, it's Mothra. No, it's Luminous Brood Moth. So 2 and white. Creature insect. Has flying. It's a mythic 3/4. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, and it hurts me to say this last part of this sentence, return it to the battlefield under its creature's control with a flying counter on it.
To the skies.
Sweet removal spell, bro. Sweet Supreme Verdict.
Yep.
That's it. That's the card.
Yeah, so this is what people were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Savior mentioned this earlier.
So it works with Fanatical, Firebrand, and Solemnity. So you sack Firebrand, it comes back with a counter, but Solemnity says it can't have counters put on it, so it just comes back, rinse, wash, repeat. At least I'm assuming that's the
Yeah,
combo.
that's the
Someone
combo.
correct me if I'm wrong.
That's nutty. Fanatical Firebrand, Solemnity, get them while you can. I'm sure people are going to try this. I don't know if it's going to be good, obviously, but it sets all over the place, guys. Basically, that's what I'm saying. If you like it, more power to you. Man, I'm not a fan of this set so far. Obviously, we have a lot more cards left. We have there's a Mythos cards, which the black one's really sweet. Mythos of Netherrai.
A lot of the someone commented who said Savior commented and said that the mythoses are all worded very oddly as well, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
like, I like the mythos cycle because I like the the story aspect when you get those cycles like that.
Yeah, well, that, and I think that it's cool design space to have. This does this thing, and then it gets better if you did this thing, right?
Yeah.
Are these just you have to spend that mana on it to do anything? They are worded very poorly.
No, so you get if you're looking at which one are you?
So let's talk about this one, Mythos of Netherrai. So this is 3 mana, 2 generic, and 1 black, for an instant rare. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if green W, so green-white, was spent to cast this spell.
So the way I read this is destroy a
How's it going,
creature unless you use green and white mana, then it is a non-land permanent.
That's worded just terribly.
It reads 2 and a black, destroy target creature, or green, white, black, destroy target non-land permanent. Yeah.
That makes sense. Why didn't they just format it that way?
It's a great question.
They could have done like little bullet points and had one here and one there. That one's really good, though. I like that one a lot. They haven't revealed the blue one yet, so I guess next week we're gonna have to run it back and have the finish of this set breakdown. We get
to talk. Or sorry,
no, go for it.
I was just saying we're gonna talk about the Les Alex card in the set, right? What's in that blue Mythos spot right there for you, Alex?
Voracious Great Shark.
Just the most Les Alex control card in the set.
Nah, this card's garbage.
It counters a thing, man.
It doesn't have any evasion. I got tagged.
But it's got flash.
I got tagged on Twitter and was like, hey, this is the one, right? Just like, nah, Chief, this is not the one. This is not the one. So 5 mana, 3 generic, blue, creature shark. I just want to say baby shark, dude. Anyways, it is a rare. It is a 5/4. Yeah, no, for sure. Flash, when it enters the battlefield, counter target artifact or creature spell. Would it have killed them?
This is gonna be nuts. In all caps.
Would it have killed them to just make this card counter anything? 5 mana counter spell? It might end up being great, and I might just be completely wrong. But come on. 5 mana counter spell is not where I want to be at. I don't give a shit if a Tintin was attached to it. Next card. I'm curious to see what the blue Mythos will do, though. It's going to be a teamer one, because that's just the way that this is set up.
I'm guessing it's gonna have something to do with big creatures.
Furled Myth, exactly. It was 4 mana and it countered anything. Witness, this card's garbage. Might as well use it for toilet paper.
I don't know if I go that far, but
Bastion of Remembrance. This card's sweet. I don't know if it's gonna be good. I just like it. 2 and a black for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you make 1/1. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1. So I like that. A little gain, a little drain. Loses 1, gain 1.
I've seen people talking about this with Woe Strider.
Yeah, Woe Strider's an insane card. Woe Strider's nuts on its own, but especially if it gets something. I don't even know what this is, but let's see.
Yeah,
Lava Brink
J4EO.
Adventurer.
Did you see this, Alex? The free negate.
Yeah.
The force of negation.
Yeah,
that isn't
except
force of negation.
It's just counter target spell, right?
No, it's a negate.
Oh, okay.
It's counter non-creature.
So this one's pretty interesting. I like this kind of design space too here. Lava Brink Adventurer. It's a 3/3, 2 and a white. Creature, human soldier. When it enters the battlefield, you choose odd or even, and it has protection from. So protection. They're bringing back protection slowly but surely from the chosen converted mana costs. So that's pretty good. I
just want to say my favorite thing is that they had to put 0 as even as a reminder text because somebody tried to pull something and go, I didn't pick either, so I have protection from all of them.
Yeah, right. What do we think about Everquill Phoenix?
I've seen a lot of people talking about this card outside of Standard. There's a lot, like there's been a string of 3 or 4 pretty decent Phoenixes.
Yeah, they've really been buffing them up. Long gone are the days of Chandra's Phoenix.
Human players are hyped for that card. For which card?
For Phoenix?
Savior?
Or for the Aardvark?
for the adventurer, I would assume.
So Everquill Phoenix is 2 and red for a creature Phoenix rare. It has mutate. Flying. Whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather. You can tap a colorless and sacrifice the feather to return the Phoenix to the battlefield tapped, and it is a 4/4. Yeah.
So I have one complaint about this card.
Shoot.
There's a character in the story whose name is Feather. Not only that, but you recently shined a big spotlight on it and gave him his own card because, like, he was this character from the original lore, like the Brothers War.
Yeah,
and like
that
you
is a bit
brought him
confusing.
back and shined a big light on him. Why couldn't you make this something other than a feather?
Yeah, they could have made it Spark or anything.
Sorry, once again, nitpicky.
Very nitpicky over here. The alternate art is really sick though. I really like that.
Feather the redeemed Phoenix lover.
I love it.
That alt art is dope.
Is the blue Phoenix or is the blue enchantment any good? Let's see. Evasion Protocol. 1 in a blue enchantment for an uncommon. Whenever you cycle a card, you may pay 1. If you do, target creature or artifact you control. Exile target creature or artifact you control, then return. All right, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, this card is like...
Yeah. Sweet and Commander.
I think this card has a lot of playability. Like, I'm imagining an ETB deck focused around, like, this cycle lands, and, like, you get Thassa, and I don't know. Like, I feel like there's sweet things you can do with this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Witness says Blinking Euro with the sack trigger on the stack. That's pretty nuts. Good. That's pretty nuts, yeah. I don't know, guys. This set is super strange, has a lot of weird mechanics, breaks the rules. I know I was saying it earlier and I didn't get to it. The rules committee is losing their minds over Mutate just because of how confusing it is. Blinking mutated creatures, yeah, that's true. Hollow one in Pioneer with all the cycling cards, yeah, that could certainly be a thing.
I have zero faith we're getting cycling Tri-lands. That'd be sweet.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Like, they haven't given us any lands yet, but...
Come on, fetch lands. They said there wasn't going to be one in Zendikar, but joke's on us. They're bringing it to Ikoria.
No, they're not giving us fetch lands in this set.
Especially after they just dropped the from the vault or whatever.
Here we go. It'll be tricolor fetch lands.
Oh my god. Look at the Blitz card. What's the Blitz card? What color is it? Just look at the... Oh, man. This set's nuts. It's red.
Blitz of the Thunder Raptor?
So this is the other...
just on the name.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds sweet. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor is an instant with 1 in a red, uncommon. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. If that creature or planeswalker, another misspelt word, planeswalker would die this turn, it is instead exiled. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I'm in on that card.
That card feels real good.
I'm in on that card. I like instants and sorceries, and I hate creatures, so that card's perfection.
Yeah, that's real good. Too bad. I don't know. This feels like a control shell card to me, though, and I don't feel like control wants to be splashing red right now.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you play this, and I don't know, because I don't even think you play this in Jeskai Fires. Like,
maybe
you don't have that.
Maybe there's a Pioneer, maybe there's like a Pioneer Phoenix deck.
Ooh, yeah. It does get rid of Uro.
Yeah, it gets rid of Uro.
I don't know.
Call of the Death Dealer. Call of the Haunted. Here it is. So this one, Call of the Death Dweller, not Death Dealer. That would be a way cooler name, for the record. 2 and a black sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a death touch counter on either of them. Then put a menace counter on either of them. Notice how it doesn't... You can put them both... The way I'm reading this is you can put them both on the same creature. It doesn't say either and then put on the other. So I'm assuming that's pretty sick. Base level Mayhem Strider plus...
Yeah.
Woe Strider plus Mayhem Devil. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. My general thoughts on this set is, so far, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But there are some cool things. And let's see. If we get a sweet Narset, because we've seen Narset. She is on Ikoria. She's doing sweet stuff. She has art on a card, if I could find it. It's a pretty cool card, too. Not sure if it's good enough, but Channeled Force, 2 blue-red instant, as an additional cost, discard X cards. Target player draws X cards. Channeled Force deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. It doesn't go face, but still being able to take care of a threat. I mean, late game, if you have a bunch of cards in your hand, this could be really good. And the art is freaking sick. Randy Vargas killed it on this one. Let me move it up so our viewers can see it.
Witness, yes. That was the first card we talked about.
Reprint Khans Narset.
And we said, as if it's better than Path in humans. If you're talking about modern humans, they would need to change their mana base, because right now they can't cast it.
Yeah.
They can only cast creatures off their mana base.
I think it'd be an Is It Narset saver. Yeah, that's as soon as I saw this card spoiled a couple days, I was like, yeah, there's going to be an Is It. You don't make this card. And we know, right, from the lore, her original card from Tarkir, she's a Jeskai she was a Jeskai legendary creature. She was the leader of the Jeskai. So it would make sense. Khan. She was the Khan, yeah. So it would make sense. She's had a blue-white planeswalker. She's had a mono-blue planeswalker. And now it would make sense that she'd get a Is It one. It would just... I think it will be. roast me in the comments if tomorrow they show it and it's not. I don't know, man. We are about on an hour now recording. So I think that, do you have anything else you want to say about the set before we call it a podcast?
We were really negative about this set, but if you're excited about this, be excited to play these. Like I am
Absolutely.
excited about a lot of this for just non-competitive settings.
What color is Grime Dancer?
Grim Dancer, is that the? Oh no, it's Skull Prophet. But if you're excited about it, be excited about the set. It has sweet cards. I think you and I both just fall into the more hyper competitive set who look at an 8 mana 8/8 and go, well, I'm never casting that.
Well, that, and typically you play control decks, and obviously the name of my podcast is called Control Freak, so there's just not much here to really get excited about it. I know Witness is trolling in chat talking about that stupid Shark Seeing play, and maybe it will. Maybe it'll be the best fucking card in Standard, but it just doesn't excite me from just looking at it here today. Grim Dancer, this is the last card we're going to talk about. Jo, thank you for pointing it out. 1 in a black for a creature Nightmare. Uncommon. It's a 3/3. Grim Dancer enters the battlefield of your choice of 2 different counters among Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Having Menace and Lifelink would be pretty good. The black-green is good in Standard. All right, last card. For real this time. Last card. Chevelle. Is that how you say that? That's how I read that. Cheville? Cruella de Vil, the Bane of Monsters. It's black-green for legendary human rogue. It is mythic, and it is a 1/3. It has Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. I like it. If you keep murking, you keep killing their creatures, you get to re-up and put another bounty counter, which draws you more cards.
Yeah.
It's a mythic, so again, this goes back to the whole story of History of Benalia and Brazen Borrower. On its surface, it's got Death Touch too. I like this card. I've gotten burned by black-green creature. What was it? Rashaka Death Dealer I bought 20 of, thinking that card was going to be nuts, and it was just garbage. So I am very bearish on this card in terms of investing on it. But
but yeah, I think this set...
yeah, toss a coin to...
I think this set offers a lot. I hope people explore it, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope it opens up a really fun new competitive Standard and Pioneer and Modern scene, but
yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to see. Everybody go buy these packs, go buy boxes, support your local game store. Cause
you saw that it got pushed back, right?
Yeah, it got pushed back. The release date has gotten pushed back. But support your local game stores. Obviously, right now, everybody's kind of struggling, generally speaking. But if you do plan on buying, buy local. Having worked at a card shop that went out of business, I definitely know the perils and how thin and how it could change. And this is probably, even the food industry. There's a lot of restaurants and bars that are just never opening ever again because this has happened. So I'm going to get, again, off the soapbox. But thank you, everybody, for listening or watching. If you're live on Twitch, I appreciate every single person who has came to hang out and have us chat for about an hour about Magic the Gathering. I'm glad that you could be watching. There's a lot of great streamers on right now. There's a lot of great content you could be consuming, so I do appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get notified every single time I post a new Magic the Gathering video. Shout out to all of my amazing patrons over at patreon.com/LessAlex. I thank all of you if you are considering becoming a patron. Obviously now is not the greatest time, but if you do, for as little as $2 a month, you could help support the content, and it would definitely mean the world to me. And you get a lot of cool perks, and you get a lot of some stickers whenever you become a patron, and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff as well. So thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, keep spreading Azorius propaganda, and most importantly, be kind to one another. Have a great night.
See you guys.